Hey everybody, Mitch Jackson. This is my second Amazon Live. It's great to see everyone. I'm going to share my how many I got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 books that have helped me build out my law practice, have helped me open successful companies, have helped me negotiate the ups and downs of doing business, and frankly, my personal life. Coming back full circle, I'm sharing these books with you. I want to answer your questions live on Amazon Live. And I want to, let me come back to this. And I want to figure out how this platform works. It looks like we are live. It's good to see everybody. And if you have questions about anything we talk about, definitely reach out to me on Amazon Live. I'm also broadcasting to a couple of other platforms. I'll be looking for your comments and for your questions with respect to the books. You guys can connect with me over on Amazon.com/shop/Mitch Jackson. Follow me on the platform and let's have some fun. The first book that I want to share with everyone is down below. It is Talk Like Ted. As you guys can see, it is a great book by Carmine Gallo. And for those of you watching this on other platforms, jump over to Amazon Live, okay? Because you can actually see the books that I'm talking about. You can actually click if you like any of the books that I'm talking about, and you can pick up a copy for your Kindle, Audible versions, paperback, which is what I like. But Talk Like Ted was written by Carmine Gallo. And Carmine also shared a chapter for my book, The Ultimate Guide to Social Media for Business Owners, Professionals, and Entrepreneurs. But what Talk Like Ted's all about is he interviewed 200 of the top TED speakers, you guys, and found out what makes them so good, what makes them so special. And then he distills and breaks down into very easy, bite-sized, easy to digest steps on how to, I'm looking at my phone, you guys. We're broadcasting live on Amazon Live and on some other platforms. I'm using StreamYard. So I appreciate the comments. I will get to those. He breaks it down into how can we use these communication approaches in business, in life, with our families, for me in the courtroom. And it's just a fantastic book that I recommend it to everyone and anyone. Looking at the Amazon description, Talk Like Ted, the 9 public speaking secrets of the world's top minds. Ideas are the currency of the 21st century. In order to succeed, you need to be able to sell yourself. You need to sell your ideas persuasively. This ability is the single greatest skill that will help you accomplish your dreams. And what Carmine did is, like I said, he actually broke things down to when you're creating content, when you're on stage, when you're communicating your message, you want to make sure that you are entertaining your audience in a fashion that's appropriately so. Number 2, you want to be unique. And number 3, you want your content to be memorable. In this book, Talk Like Ted, Carmine shows you how to do all 3. I don't care if you're a student or a law school student, if you're a lawyer, if you're a professor, if you're a judge, if you're an entrepreneur in the business world, definitely check out this book because it is gold. Now that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's one of 7 books I want to share with you. I'm also using this opportunity to kind of check out how Amazon Live works. I'm going to go over to a different browser. I want to see what the broadcast actually looks like and make sure that we are live. And let me see, let me refresh my browser. And we are. This is awesome, you guys. So what I'm noticing is while you're watching at Amazon.com/shop/Mitch Jackson, the books that I'm talking about are in the carousel over on my screen to the right. If you're watching this on your phone, it's a little bit different. I'm just curious if I tap to the next book, Cumulative Advantage by Mark Schaefer. I love that. The book comes down the carousel. This is pretty slick, you guys. One of the reasons I'm jumping on today on a Sunday afternoon is to really just get a feel for how Amazon Live works. I've got a lot of exciting things that I'll be bringing to you on the Amazon Live platform. For those of you watching this feed over on Periscope, Twitter, LinkedIn, one of my Facebook pages, thanks for watching. Do me a favor, though. I would love it if you could just jump over to the URL that you see at the bottom of the screen. As a matter of fact, let me make it super easy for you guys. right there. Go to amazon.com/shop/Mitch Jackson and digest, view, and comment with me in real time so I can see the comments. I can answer your questions right here. They'll be displaying on my iPhone, and then I can answer those questions to you. Why are these books so darn powerful? Because they basically allowed me to build a law firm over the last 3 decades, frankly, unlike anything else I've ever seen. I know a lot of lawyers. I've met a lot of entrepreneurs and business people. And the way we've set things up, you guys, it's really helped us migrate COVID-19, this upside down 2020 business world, so that we can focus all of our time and attention helping our clients. It's using the strategies, the approaches, the mindsets in this book. And the first book, for those of you just joining us, Talk Like Ted was the first book that we talked about, really improving your communication skills, how to immediately gain attention of your audience, how to immediately not only entertain and tell stories, but also to empower your audience to take that next desired step. That's one of my favorite things, you guys, about Talk Like Ted. Let's go to the next book. This is a brand new book that just came out, and I have a feeling it's at my office waiting for me. I'm broadcasting from our home office today, but it's written by a gifted marketing expert. A lot of you guys know Mark, really value and treasure everything that he shared over the years to our community. His new book that just came out is called Cumulative Advantage: How to Build Momentum for Your Ideas, Business, and Life Against All Odds. How many of you feel over the last year that it's been against all odds, right? So, okay, I'm just looking down at some notes here. Wow, I've never seen an Amazon Live. Looks and sounds good, by the way. Awesome, Charlene. Thank you. I really appreciate that. That's why I'm here. I'm testing something out. I'm doing something that a lot of lawyers don't do. And what I'm doing, Charlene, just so you know, is I'm actually broadcasting in Amazon Live, right? But I'm using StreamYard. So I'm not only broadcasting this to Amazon Live, I'm also broadcasting this to YouTube, to LinkedIn, to Twitter via Periscope, which isn't going to be around for too much longer, but I still love Periscope. And then I'm also looking at the Amazon Live feed. All I need is my phone to do this, but we've got some big plans for 2021 on Amazon Live. I am an Amazon influencer, and that's why I'm kind of kicking the tires right now with just a few books that I know is going to add value to you and everyone else that's watching. So if you like this approach, if you like the kind of content that I'm sharing, do me a favor, click the follow button on Amazon Live. Share this out, which is something I'm going to try in just a second. I want to see how I can share this on the other platforms, not only from my phone. I want to see if there's a share button, but also from the other platforms. Cumulative Advantage, you guys. Mark Schaefer has written just some outstanding books over the years. A lot of you know the book Known, which shows you how to become known, especially on the digital platforms. I've taken a lot of Mark's techniques in his book Known and have incorporated them into my offline brand, and it works really well. But this new book just came out. And what Mark describes on his Amazon page is, at its essence, marketing today is about answering one question. How can we be heard? How can we rise above the din of infinite options to create sustainable meaning with an audience or group of customers? How do you do that right now? Everybody is looking for an angle. Everybody is out trying to, hey, Larry, it's good to see you. Larry Weinstein out of Texas. It's good to see you. I'm one of my favorite CPAs on the planet. So Larry, I'm trying out Amazon Live. We're broadcasting the other platforms. We're going through 7 of my favorite books. I don't know if you've gotten Cumulative Advantage yet, but if you haven't, I highly recommend it. I'm going to take a moment, you guys, and see how I can respond in real time. I'll say hi, everyone. And once again, Larry, I'm just kind of testing out the platform. Was able to share from Facebook. Well, thank you, Charlene. I really appreciate that. It's very nice of you. So I'm wondering if from within the Amazon platform itself, if you're watching this on your phone, your tablet, your desktop, at my site, which is right here, amazon.com/shop/Mitch Jackson. I'm wondering if there's a share button from that site. I'm going to check it out in just a second. And what's up, Sean? Yo, right back at you, coming in from one of the other platforms. So let's go back to Mark's book, you guys. The reason I'm such a fan of Mark Schaefer is he shares valuable content. I've never read a single page in any of Mark's books that I didn't think was extremely valuable. And in Cumulative Advantage, I think what Mark does is he's going to show us how to build momentum for all of our ideas, both in business and life, in this crazy, like I said, upside down COVID-19 world. So Cumulative Advantage is the only book I haven't read, but I'm excited to read it. And as soon as I'm done, I'm going to hop in the car, go into the office, get some mail, and I have a feeling it's sitting there. So that should be fun. Can I put up a list? Yes. So here's the thing. On Amazon Live, there's a carousel of these books right next to the video. So check this out. Go over to Amazon Live. The share button is up arrow to the, okay, so I asked the question, can I share this from Amazon Live? And Charlene was kind enough in real time to respond, yes. The share button is an up arrow to the immediate left of the star, bottom right beneath your video, shared to Twitter, easy for me to say, shared to Twitter without a problem. That's so awesome. See, sometimes you guys, when new technology comes out, and most of you know I've been online since '96, first website, early social media user, not only as a lawyer, but as a businessman. And every single new app, new platform that's come out, we usually, if we think it has merit, if it has upside potential, we'll dive in. We'll make mistakes, right? We'll click the wrong buttons. But with live video, what I found is it's hard to make a mistake because there's something about being real and genuine and tapping into this global platform right now. We're tapping into Amazon's global marketplace right now. What's really cool, Larry, and I want you to think about this. Thank you for sharing it to Facebook. Really appreciate it, Larry. You guys, this is cool. Check this out. Right now, if you were to go to Cumulative Advantage, Mark's book, at Mark's Amazon page, guess what you're going to see beneath his book? You're going to see this live video pop up beneath his book while we're live and while I'm talking about it. Is that cool? That applies to any other products and services we're going to be talking about and rolling out in 2021. So the second book is Cumulative Advantage. Just real quick, you guys, in summary, let me hit the carousel. Talk Like Ted was the first book we talked about. Cumulative Advantage is the second book that we talked about. The third book, I don't think a lot of you have heard about, but it's a brilliant book written by Jason Fried and his co-author and business partner, David Hansen. And it's called It Doesn't Have to Be Crazy at Work. And once again, if you're at my Amazon Live site, which is the URL below, you'll see these books pop up in front of you. So if you want to order, you just tap it. And while you're at my Amazon Live site, go ahead and click to follow me, if you would, please, and share this out. But here's the thing with Jason Fried's book. He's one of the first. Who's Jason? Jason is the co-founder of Basecamp, you guys. Basecamp is a contact management, CRM, collaboration, cloud-based tool that was rolled out 10 years ago. And today they get something like 6,000 to 9,000 new users a week. Okay, I didn't misstate that. 6,000 to 9,000 to 10,000 new users a week on Basecamp. It's a huge business, a successful business. What they started doing back on day one is they had remote workers. They allowed their workers to work from their homes, from different countries, and they were very flexible about take time off when you need to take time off. Take a vacation when you need to take a paid vacation, right? And it was just back then an amazing new groundbreaking way of doing business. Fast forward to today, everybody's working from home, right? So what Jason and his business partner did is they came out with a book. It doesn't have to be crazy at work. And they kind of revisited some of these principles that they talked about. Thank you, Charlene, for sharing again. I really appreciate it. If you guys have any questions about these books, definitely just ask in the comments or on any of the other social platforms. What they did is they rolled this book out and kind of took some of the things that Jason wrote about in his book, Rework, which was, I think, a New York Times bestseller, and basically showed everyone this is how you can do business and create a team and keep your team members, your employees happy and how to embrace everyone enjoying their lives, but also enjoying their jobs. I mean, doesn't that sound like a great way to run a company, especially when you look at how big, how global, and the dollars and cents, the big zeros that are involved with what Jason's doing. So at the Amazon site, they talk about, in this timely manifesto, the authors of the New York Times best-selling Rework, and I just referenced Rework, broadly reject the prevailing notion that long hours, aggressive hustle, and whatever it takes are required to run a successful business in today's world. And they tell you why, and they share options for the lawyers out there that are trying to build and run these, hardcore grind, 24/7 hustle law firms. All you're doing is you're creating zombies. You're creating team members that don't want to be there. They're not going to enjoy the practice of law. There's another way to build your law firms. And although this book isn't for lawyers, that's not why Jason wrote the book. I can tell you, just knowing Jason and having read the book more than once, having interviewed him about the book and a few other things, this is absolutely for lawyers and law firms. So check out the book. It doesn't have to be crazy at work. If you're on my Amazon Live page, go ahead and click the link to order it. I highly recommend it. I am going to just bounce over to a page that I'm looking at because Charlene said I could share. You can share this live broadcast, and I'm looking on my page as to where I can share this. She said, underneath the star. Okay. Watch now. Interesting. Okay. Anyway, let me come back to everyone here. Hang on a second. There we go. All right. So what's the next book I'm going to recommend you guys? We talked about Talk Like Ted by Carmine Gallo. Cumulative Advantage, a brand new book out by Mark Schaefer. It doesn't have to be crazy at work by Jason Fried. The next book I want to talk about, and you guys have heard me talk about this before, it's one of my favorite books of all time, Adversaries into Allies by Bob Berg. This is the best people skills book, how to get along with people, how to read people, how to interact with people that I've ever been exposed to, that I've ever read. And I'm proud to say Bob's a personal friend of mine, and I just love this book. So let's talk a little bit about it. Where's my thing? Hang on a second, you guys. I'm looking at some different tabs I've got up. So Adversary into Allies basically breaks down 5 of Bob's ultimate principles for whether it's influence or building relationships or interacting with other business people. For the lawyers in my world, it's about understanding where other people are coming from, realizing my perception of the situation may not be actually what they're perceiving. It may not be what their client wants. And it teaches you, for example, how to be tough on issues, but kind to people. There's a novel idea. We haven't seen much of that over the last 4 years, but that doesn't mean starting in 2021 moving forward, we can't start being kind to people when we disagree on the issues, right? And so Bob's book, Adversaries into Allies, is one of my favorite. Let me look down real quick at some of the notes, some of the comments right here, you guys. I appreciate you guys jumping in. Cool. Larry Weinstein, CPA, good friend of mine out of Texas. Thank you for sharing. Looks like he's watching this on his Facebook page also. That's awesome. Let me see. Charlene says, my lawyers would, I'm paraphrasing, my lawyers would benefit from reworking their business. Absolutely. It's, Charlene, this is something that's dear. Let me come back to it real quick. This is the book that we're talking about right now. It doesn't have to be crazy at work. I wish every law firm, every senior partner, every managing partner read this book. I wish they would read the book Rework, which came out before this, also by Jason Fried, and incorporate and adapt many of these principles and philosophies into building out their law firm culture. Their law firm will be more successful. Their client base will be happier. They'll have a better reputation in the community. They'll get better results. And I think they'll be setting themselves up for long-term success, unlike what many lawyers are doing right now. Back to Adversaries into Allies, you guys. once again, when I'm mentoring young trial lawyers, and a lot of you know I enjoy mentoring young trial lawyers, now, before I even do so, I ask them and I require them to read Bob's book, Adversaries into Allies. It's that good. If you don't understand people skills when you're picking a jury, when you're giving your opening statement, when you're direct or cross-examining a witness, when you're giving a closing argument, if you don't know how to read body language, if you don't know how to ask questions and stop talking and listen carefully, attentive listening, if you don't know how to take what someone's just told you, whether it's a juror, a judge, opposing counsel, or a witness, and then reframe your approach, your question, your next step action premised upon that, then you're selling yourself short and you're reducing the chances of your client getting the outcome of the case that he or she wants. This applies in mediations, it applies in arbitrations, it applies in trials, it applies on a Friday night when you're negotiating with your family as to what Netflix movie you want to watch and whether you're going with plain popcorn, buttered popcorn, or caramel popcorn, right? So that's why this is one of my favorite books. Love it to death. The next book up, you guys, of my 7 recommended books is Talk Triggers, the complete guide to creating customers with word of mouth. What is the common theme, you guys, that we see here? And by the way, while you're looking at Talk Triggers, if you're following me on Amazon Live right now, that's where you're watching this live stream. There's a carousel with these books that you can actually look at and click and read more about the books while I'm telling you and answering questions about these books. If you like something you see, if you think I'm recommending a good book, and I am, click and order it, right? Most of these are Kindle, Audible, paperback, hardcover. They're there for you. I'm doing this right now, you guys. Nobody's making a lot of money selling books, right? What I'm trying to do is get a feel for Amazon Live. How does it interact? Right now, what's happening, for those of you that follow me on social, you know there's a lot of big things happening on this platform with me moving forward in 2021. And before I do that stuff, I want to get it down with the books, okay? I'm looking at real-time comments right now on my iPhone. And give me just a moment while you're looking at Talk Triggers. Click through and check it out. And we've got a good audience right now, a good global audience. So thank you for that. I've got a question here. Hello, I'm very interested in the book. One question, I'm very curious. Does it have a lot of pictures? No, the books that I'm recommending are traditional business books. There's not a lot of pictures, but they are well written. These books tell stories and tell pictures through the words. So there aren't a lot of pictures. Yeah, Talk Triggers is amazing. Love Jay Bear. Larry, I'm with you on that. Let's see. When you go when you go live in Amazon, does Amazon show you to the general public? Amazon shows this live streaming to its general public community around the world. So for example, right now, and we need to try this. Right now, what's supposed to be happening is if you're over at Jay Bear's Talk Triggers website, this video should be beneath the book Talk Triggers. That's pretty cool, right? So we're broadcasting through the entire Amazon community, both live and recorded, right? After the fact, it's recorded. And then I'm using StreamYard to broadcast this out to YouTube, to Twitter, to LinkedIn, one Facebook page. But I could have added 10 more pages if I wanted to. But I realized I'm probably going to make some mistakes, so I didn't want to get too crazy on a Sunday afternoon. But let me go over to Talk Triggers on Amazon. I'm curious to see if our video is displaying someplace here as I scroll down. I am in Jay's Talk Triggers Amazon page, you know, the page you would go to normally buy this book. Ooh, I hear my daughter's little puppy barking downstairs. And I was told that this video will pop up on Jay's page. And I don't see it, but maybe it's the recorded video that pops up. Maybe I need to get more time. As a live streamer, they want us to put in at least 90 minutes right off the bat, maybe before they start sharing this across all the platforms. But you know what, you guys, that doesn't mean I can't share good books with you. And talk triggers, and I agree with Jay's description. It's written on Amazon. It's the definitive practical guide on how to use bold operational differentiators to create custom conversations written by best-selling authors and marketing experts. Word of mouth is directly responsible for 19% of all purchases. I think it's higher than that now because of COVID-19, and it influences as much as 90%. That is probably still a very solid stat. Understanding how to craft your message, understanding what a trigger is, what an anchor is, how you can use language to not only make your point and help people, but if you're selling products and services, there's a right and wrong way to use the right words to create the right message that get your customer, get your client, get your patient motivated to take that next desired step, whether it's a phone call to your office, whether it's clicking to order your product, whether it's going to a link to set up an appointment. That's why Talk Triggers is so important. I don't think the book Talk Triggers got the type of attention that it deserved. It is one of my favorite books that Jay has written. He's written some outstanding books, you guys. And I recommend Hug Your Haters is another one that Jay has written about how to deal with trolls, how to deal with the haters on the internet. If you haven't read Hug Your Haters, that's another book that Jay's written. But today we're talking about Talk Triggers. Let me just jump down to the comments. I want to engage with everybody in real time. There's a lot going on. That's why I'm practicing. That's why I'm making mistakes. But I want to get a feel for exactly how we can use these platforms. The question is, so you're getting exposure to brand new market audiences. That's great. Exactly. We're getting exposure to a brand new market. So imagine as a lawyer, if I'm rolling out, for example, a new book on Amazon or a new trial advocacy course that shows young trial lawyers how to win their cases in court, based upon my 34 years of trial practice, based upon a couple of awards that I picked up over the years. And you can go to streaming.lawyer or jacksonandwilson.com to learn more about that. It allows you to build your personal brand. And that's why I'm doing this. Now, I'm also having some fun. If you look at some of the products that I've shared on my Amazon page, which is the link below, everybody, you're going to see not only business stuff, and we're building it out over the next couple of weeks, but you're going to see some personal hobbies, interests, and passions that I have, whether it's live video, whether it's using the GoPro, whether it's running, whether it's working out. All of these things are going to be profiled at my Amazon store. I think to have happiness in life, to have mental and physical health, to have a successful career, to put yourself in a position so that you're happy and competent so that you can help your clients, I think you need to have all of these things in your life. So that's the big picture game plan with my Amazon store. So we'll see what happens. I use the store lightly. It's more of a place, right? My place on Amazon. Next up, you guys, we have Stand Out. How many of you, let me know in the comments, how many of you have read Stand Out by Dory Clark? I'm going to click back over to StreamYard real quick, see what's going on over there. All right, you guys, Stand Out, I read years ago. And I've had the chance to meet Dory. She's a brilliant speaker, analyst, consultant, author, all the above, 10x, right? But Stand Out is a book that allows you right now to have your voice heard above all the noise. It allows you and gives you the tools and approaches to know what you need to do on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, all the platforms, or offline, at the store, in a restaurant, at your business, on stage, the approaches you can take to separate yourself from everyone else in the room in a good way. The steps you can take to create an audience, a community, a following that you can reach out to for help, to promote a product or service, that you can reach out to help with the unique challenges that they're having. According to Amazon, and once again, if you're over on my Amazon Live, click over and watch this show right there, you guys, and follow me while you're there. The books are on a carousel. So as I'm talking about them, the books are coming across the stage, and you can click and read more about any of these books if they're of interest to you. But what's described is too many people believe that if they keep their heads down and work hard, they will be lauded as experts on the merits of their work. But that's simply not true anymore. To make a name for yourself, you have to capitalize on your unique perspective and knowledge and inspire others to listen and take action. But becoming a thought leader is a mysterious, opaque process. Where do the ideas come from and how do they get noticed? So what Dory does in the book Stand Out is she shows you how to get and crystallize your ideas. She shows you how to take those ideas and using the tools and approaches that she teaches you, how to put them into motion, how to take action on them so that you can get noticed the right way for the right reasons by the right people, which allows you to build your personal brand, which allows you to sell more products or services. It just depends on how you want to use these powers that she teaches you in your business, in your life, right? And so that's why I'm sharing it with you, is because it's a great book. It's had a big impact on some of the things that I'm doing. And I just want to expose this to you too. All right, next on the list is Fanocracy. How many of you read Fanocracy? So Fanocracy, turning fans into customers and customers into fans. What a great concept. Imagine if your customers, if your clients, if your patients were fans of you and what you do. They know, like, and trust you. They get a kick out of the projects that you're doing or how you go about delivering your products or services. They're fans of you. They're fans of your company. They're fans of your life. Well, that's what David and his daughter, Rico Scott, wrote about in this book. As indicated, if you're on Amazon Live with me, how do some brands attract word of mouth buzz and radical devotion around products as everyday car insurance, B2B software, and underwear? What's exciting about that, right? Some of these brands that sell those products and service, I'm telling you, they have a fan base that's unbelievable. It's almost like, and David does reference one of these boring car insurance companies, one of these, you would think, everyday underwear companies. They've got raving, passionate fans, you guys, because of how they're creating their products and how they're offering these products both online and offline. And my thoughts to everyone watching this live is that if you embrace the concepts in Fanocracy and add those and these approaches to building out your products and services, just like MeUndies have done, just like Headcount, Grain Surfboards, Haggerty, and HubSpot have done, you can create raving, passionate fans around your products and services moving forward in 2021. That's one of the reasons that I wanted to share this book with you, you guys. It's one of the reasons I wanted to share the other books that we talked about today. And for those of you just joining me, I want to go back and let's just work our way through the carousel real quick. The first book we talked about was Talk Like TED. And let me come back to my carousel. I want to see how this looks. And Talk Like TED, how do the top TED speakers, how do they craft their presentations? How do they do things different than everyone else? That's what Carmine Gallo talked about in the book, Talk Like TED. Get the book. It's powerful. It will help you deliver your message in a more effective fashion in 2021. The next book, Cumulative Advantage, brand new book by Mark Schaefer. Like I said, I think it's down at the law firm, and I'm going to go down and get it as soon as we're done. Let's see here. Oh, Larry says, yes, Fanocracy, great book. Larry, I'm glad you enjoyed the book. Next up on the list, and by the way, let me go ahead and hit refresh. What I'm doing, you guys, is I'm actually also testing out the Amazon Live platform. I've got a lot going on, so bear with me. It's only my second Amazon Live. I believe you can see my earlier Amazon Live at the website. If you go down towards the bottom of the page, click the hyperlink, you can see past Amazon Lives that are now recorded. Cumulative Advantage by Mark Schaefer. Next, It Doesn't Have to Be Crazy at Work by Jason Fried. Outstanding book that talks about remote workforces. It talks about balancing personal lives of your team members, your employees, your management team, your co-owners with obligations at work. I think they've got it figured out. I wish more lawyers would design their law firms around the concepts and principles that Jason has explained. We got Bob Berg's book, Adversary into Allies. Little secret, everyone, Bob's got some big news coming up. If you haven't already, I mean, big news for 2021. I'm excited. I don't have permission to share it with everyone, but what I can tell everybody is if you go to burg.com, BURG.com, and if you sign up at the bottom for his email newsletter update, then as soon as this huge, big, tremendous, exciting news breaks, people on the email list are going to find out about it first, and you can thank me later. It's that good. So go to burg.com, get on his email update. It's toward the bottom of the website, and look for this breaking news. I think it's going to happen this week or early next week. Super excited for Bob and Kathy and everyone over on his team. Adversaries into Allies. Once again, you guys, great book. Next up, talk triggers. Learn how to use your words and craft them in a way so that your content's entertaining, unique, memorable. You're telling stories, but you're also at the same time empowering your audience and giving them permission and allowing them to give themselves permission to take that desired next step. Super important. And Stand Out by Dory Clark. Stand out, you guys, how to get your voice heard above the noise, how to stand out, but at the same time, how to build a community who shares a common interest with you, who wants to support what you're doing. Let me look down at my notes right there. Here, there is an MJ Amazon page that will show the MJ picks after the live event is over. So I believe so, Larry. I think if you go to the link that you're seeing right now, that should take you to my Amazon Live influencer page, and then go down and you'll see all the books that I'm recommending, including another 15 or 20 that I haven't had a chance to talk about. If you drop down a little bit further, the recording of this live will be available if you'd like to share it at some point in the future. So thank you very much for asking. I just love the live interaction that I'm getting right now, you guys. It means the world to me. Last on the list that we've talked about, Fanocracy. You guys, once again, imagine in 2021, implementing these strategies, taking the necessary steps to turn your fans, your audience, your customers and clients into raging, raving, happy, positive, constructive, helpful fans. I mean, wouldn't that be awesome? I actually had the book right here. I didn't realize I had the book. Check this out. This is Fanocracy right here. This is what it looks like. I've got all the other books, I think, on my Kindle, if I'm not mistaken, and I'm using my phone. But yes, that's pretty cool. I'm just looking to see how this looks on Amazon Live. So Fanocracy. And, I'll tell you something else, you guys. It would mean the world to me if you liked my book, and I talked about this in a prior live video, The Ultimate Guide to Social Media. What I did is I went out and I got 44 of my friends to contribute chapters to this particular book. Let me come back to my StreamYard account. Hang on, you guys. And I got 44 of the top experts on all the platforms to share a chapter in this book. It was awesome. I'm really appreciative of them doing so. But here's the thing about this book. It's broken down into 3 sections. The first section is understanding the mindset of social media. It's having a go-giver mentality. That's why Bob Berg wrote the second chapter to the book. If you don't have that go-giver mentality, then it's just not going to work for you on social media. The second part of social media is understanding the personalities of each platform. And so I have an expert on each platform talk about what the personality of that platform is, and how, depending on what you do for a living, can best tap into that platform to get the results that you're looking for. And then the third section of this book is all about communication and persuasion. I reached out to some of the top speakers, communicators, persuaders, other experts in that area of conversation to share their best tips on how to create content, on how to write a blog post, on how to create a live video, on how to record a recorded video, how to immediately capture the attention of your audience. 8 of the chapters I wrote, all the other chapters were written by other experts. That's why I can brag about this book, because most of it, other people contributed, and I really appreciate their time and effort. So if you haven't gotten this book, The Ultimate Guide to Social Media, get it. It's going to really help, I think, jumpstart your success in 2021, along with the other books. Now, what I'm going to do right now is I want to play around with this platform, and feel free to communicate with me on Amazon Live. I want to get a feel for where my share buttons are. I'm going to click over to my Streaming Lawyer Facebook page. I should be pushing to it. I'm curious to see what this broadcast looks like. And it looks like we're about 10 or 15 seconds behind, but we've got a nice little audience over there watching this. So thank you, everyone, over at streaming.lawyer. I should be broadcasting live on Twitter, so I'm going over to my Twitter feed, and once again, via Periscope, which pushes to Twitter Live. It looks like we are live on Twitter, so thanks, everyone, for the shares, for the feedback over there. I'm going to just go ahead and click live and see exactly what's going on. That's amazing. This is amazing technology, you guys. YouTube should be live. Let me go over to YouTube. I'm curious to see what that looks like. And I know, I'm done talking about the books, you guys. If you have any Q&A, we can talk about it. If you have any questions about how I'll be using Amazon Live, how you can use Amazon Live, social media, business branding in general, I'd be happy to talk about any of that. Looks like I've got a question. Yeah, so there we go. I wonder if there's any way to block questions or users or anything like that. Interesting. So I'm over on YouTube right now, you guys. I'm curious to see. I wonder why people seem to find the time to share non-constructive comments. All right, so we're live over on YouTube also, you guys. That's awesome. All right. Let's see. Once again, if there's any way to block people, you guys let me know on Amazon Live, and that way I can report and take whatever action I need to take. You guys, this has been awesome, and I really appreciate you stopping by. I hope you guys enjoy the books that we talked about today. Once again, let's go back. Talk Like Ted, Cumulative Advantage by Mark Schaefer, Talk Like Ted by Carmine Gallo, It Doesn't Have to Be Crazy at Work by Jason Fried, Adversaries into Allies by Bob Berg, Talk Triggers by Jay Bear, Stand Out by Dory Clark, and Fanocracy by my good friend David Merriman Scott and his daughter Rico Scott. Let me see. All right, you guys, listen, this has been fun. Thank you for subscribing and following. I am going to head down and do a little puppy babysitting of my daughter's new little baby dachshund. She's a little cutie. Her name is Ruby, and it's my job. I can hear her barking, so I'm going to have to go. But you guys connect with me here on Amazon Live. Connect with me on all the platforms. I'm always here for you guys. And I think it's going to be a good week this week. So between now and next Sunday, enjoy the journey, hug your haters, and always make each day your masterpiece. All right, you guys, thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.